Hello.
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 Hello, everybody. Happy Wintervale.
Happy Winter Vale.
Happy Winterburn indeed,
Yeah.
and welcome to the fifth episode of the Argent Airways podcast. Joining me today is the usual gang, Ella.
Hello, it's Elytris here, also known as Daisy Sallow, new member of TK Studios. Come to the next marketplace and you may see me there.
We have
Yeah.
Vivian.
I'm also a goat. Yeah.
we have Vivian.
Hello, everybody. Vivian here, also known as Granny Viv. The character Vivian, however, is not so much of a granny. She is actually quite young. And still, or she's already a medic. Just don't let her near you with a saw.
Yes. And we have Ziagu.
Eamons, Yago here. Back again. Green Troll, Iron Wolves. Wrap them up.
And as always, I am Glashka, chieftain of the Iron Wolf clan. Welcome once again. And now the introductions are out of the way, shall we go on to the RP discussions? Ella, what have you got for us today?
So based on how we just had two Wintervale events, one on Saturday and one on Sunday, one with the Iron Wolf clan. In the Iron Wolf clan, we played some games within a game, so to say.
Yeah.
So I thought we'd have a little talk about the different kinds of games you can play whilst chilling out with other role players. Ones that you can actually play in character.
Okay.
So games
Interesting.
like Sevens, or one of my new favorites now, Fishbowl. That was
Yes.
great. Truth or Dare, Spin the Bottle, those kind of games within.
These games are
Wow.
a lot of fun because they remind you of the times you played them in real life as well. Especially, spin the bottle and not so sure about fishball though. I wouldn't go around.
They remind me of the times I played them in game before, years ago.
I remember it was
Yeah.
Vivian that introduced the clan to Sevens.
Oh.
Yeah, that's right. Sevens is a very nice little game to play, what with the holidays coming up. If you guys are sort of sitting around a table or a campfire and you're wondering what to do, then give it a try. It works like this. You need 2d6 dice. So basically you do a slash roll 6 2 times. But first you need to... Sorry, I'm a little bit surprised by the topic. You start by asking for bets. People have to say higher, lower, or 7. Then you roll your 2 dice. If the outcome is, for example, higher than 7, and somebody said higher, they are correct and they are off the hook. They won't need to answer the question you're about to ask. However, if they were wrong and they guessed wrong, they do have to answer the question you just asked. So you can ask pretty much anything you like. Icebreaker questions, you can just Google those. Or based on that, you can sort of warp them into nice character questions.
Yeah, it's a good way to learn about each other's characters and to just get to know, to ask different questions.
I think even in real life you could play that if you had access to 2 6-sided dice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it's you ask for bets first, then you roll the dice, and then you ask the question.
Bets being either higher, lower, or 7, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, higher, lower, or 7.
Right. Yeah.
So we actually ended up
I think I just messed that up again. I think you have to ask for bets first, then you ask the question, then you roll the dice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
then roll the dice. That's what we did yesterday.
Yeah, this is going really well.
Oh no! Tell me about it.
I am not nervous at all.
We're 2 days before Christmas. It's fine.
Yeah. Let's just blame it on the holiday and the fact that this isn't our third, and the fact that it isn't our third attempt at trying to record a podcast.
No.
Oh no!
No, not at all.
Absolutely not. No. We're professionals.
We know exactly what we're doing.
Yeah.
So then
Except
this
when we
one,
don't.
should we explain what fishbowl is? Because that
yes.
probably confused a lot of people.
Yeah, go on then.
Yeah, go on.
I was quite new to it, but learning about it is quite interesting. So there's a toy in the game that is a fish that you can kick. I can't remember the exact name of the toy.
Oh,
It's part of
carp
some
something.
kind.
Yeah, so
Something
you use
cock.
markers. You use markers to set up kind of like a court with 2 goals, and then you split a team up and basically play like football but with a fish. You run
Yeah.
up to it, you click on it with the mouse, and it will go whichever direction your mouse or character's facing.
More or less.
And you just have you have to just try and get it into the goal, and it's quite chaotic because every time you hit the fish, it just goes up sky high.
Especially
say
when you
getting
score
incredibly
2
fun,
own
yeah.
goals.
Sorry, Zero, say
It's
again.
called the whitewater carp.
There we are.
Ah,
You get that in High Mountain, if I remember rightly. It's by the Rivermain tribe as a quest, I think.
That's right.
Yes.
I think I
That's
remember
right,
that.
that's right.
What are
Do
you
you
saying
have
just a minute ago,
any
Zoo? Sorry.
games you Do you have any games you enjoy playing in RP Grashka?
Well, I like a good game of fishball. I remember, yeah, that is a fun, chaotic game to play with your clansmen. Pardon me.
I thought of another one.
Uh-oh.
So this one isn't necessarily in character, but it kind of is. You can play it in character. It's the Hearthstone cards. You pull them, and
Oh, yeah.
so everyone gets in the circle, and there's this toy which is a Hearthstone card that you flip, and it will be a random rarity. And basically, everyone goes around in a circle, flipping the card, and whoever gets a legendary is safe. Then the last person to flip the card, and well, they're the last person to get a legendary. They have to answer a question?
I believe so, yeah. I've heard this game
Yeah.
before.
So you answer a question, the last person, and then it goes around again. And it's very simple. It's just using one of the toys. You flip a card, and it's luck based on whether you get the
You
legendary.
say simple, but these games are quite, I suppose you could call them important, because they're definitely good icebreakers and a good way of characters to interact with each other, and
Yeah.
in a fun, as I said before, very chaotic, often way, and memorable way as well.
I am now checking currently argentarchives.org. There is an article up written by Siavash about games that you can play in the game. Like Truth or Dare 7, Hot Seat / Truth Circle, Inappropriate Conversations, Dragon's Dice. You need TRP extended for that, I believe. Blackjack, Stash Hunt, Hangman. Yeah, it's got a description of every game on it. So if you're curious and if you want to try out some new games, go to argentarchives.org and click on the article at the front page called Rolling the Dice on Wintervale. Games
Nice.
to warm hearts and bring joy.
And as
it.
always, I'll leave a link in the comments section of the YouTube video. If anyone's interested in doing it, I highly recommend you do. Always
That's
a
also
good bit of fun, if nothing else.
if you know how to navigate the archives,
Yeah.
do so. I get completely lost when trying to navigate it.
Well, this one is very easy to find because it's right in the middle of the front page.
That helps.
Yeah.
Definitely helps. So, play blackjack as well. How's that working in WoW?
With blackjack, you play with a roll 13, and 1 to 10 are, of course, the 1 being the ace, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Those are just the normal cards.
Mm-hmm.
And then any other card that starts with a 10, like the 11, the 12, and the 13, those are the picture cards. Those are the queen, and what do you call them in English?
The Jack, Queen,
and
King.
Yes, exactly. So any roll you make with a 10 in it is worth 10 points, no matter if it's an 11 or a 12 or a 13. If you keep that in mind, it's actually quite easy to play blackjack. And if somebody would like to give it a test spin and figure out how it works, feel free to poke me, because I used to play it a lot, and it is quite fun, and I'd love to share the fun.
Mm-hmm. We should organise like a little mini games night, maybe.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
I'm sure Kari of the TK Studios. Shout out to TK Studios, great gang. Maybe they can organise a games night. Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of
Surely we
course,
can do that
darling.
at some point. Like in January and February, there's not much going on, so we could just get together. It would be nice if we could do it in a neutral ground so everyone can come.
Yes, absolutely.
Mhm.
I was about to say
There's also
Dalaran,
a-
but
We can
maybe
also
not.
go to the Tasty Games Cafe.
Yes.
Yes,
They
I was
also
just about to mention
often
that.
Yes, they also host a lot of games, so that's also a nice place to come together and play them. Unfortunately, they are not in the calendar for this week. Perhaps next time.
Yeah.
Hopefully. Yeah. That's
Some other event or game-like things you can do. There's a much rarer ones, but there's races. So both mount and on foot ones using raid markers and
yeah.
Yes.
just taking out a track.
Mhm.
They're a lot rarer nowadays. I haven't seen that many, but I think they're really fun. I've tried to plan a mount one myself.
Only problem with mount races is the fact that I believe it's Magcar have a speed boost whilst on a mount.
Mm.
Otherwise,
Yes.
it'll be a fun idea. There's nothing wrong,
Some
of course,
mounts, I think.
with a normal marathon race. You know, from Orgrimmar to wherever you want to go, Crossroads or whatever.
Yeah, I think the one I did see was back in, I think, September or October. It was the Nomergon race, where people had to race from Nomergon all the way down to Stranglethorn
Yes, the
on
what was
foot.
it called? Nomago Marathon. I think it was something like
Yeah,
that. I've heard about that because I remember leveling in one of the areas that they were running through, and suddenly I saw this huge procession of people just racing by.
yeah. I was role playing in Duskwood at the time.
Yeah,
Then I just saw a group of people run through.
yeah. Oh, that was fun.
Would brawls also be considered games because they happen a lot at Pistree and Orgrimmar?
Yes,
As it's
I think
known.
that's more of a horde thing, but yeah, it would be a game technically because nobody gets killed. I guess.
Well, you hope not. Anyway, well, the Romans considered gladiator games as games, so I don't see why not. And
Yeah,
not to
good
give
point.
any spoilers away, but the clan does have a few ideas in the pipework surrounding a broad event open to many
Oh,
people.
Give us
gladiators. Are we fighting to
spoilers.
the?
No,
Are we fighting
no
to the
spoilers other
death?
than that. No spoilers other than that. All I'll say
Ah,
is there are ideas in the works. Let's just leave it at that.
this talk of games reminds me of a funny moment. Actually, I will say so now, rather than at the funny moments bit.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
Vivian was at the Dark Moon Fair once, and unbeknownst to her, two odds of Kari and Tal were playing with a carp at the beach. They were kicking it around and just having a ball, like literally.
Mm-hmm.
But at one point, they kicked the carp into the water and it was gone. Cue Vivian. She walks up to them, starts chit-chatting with them, starts making friends, and all of a sudden she sees this wounded carp sort of flopping around as it gets washed up. And Vivian is a really huge animal friend, so of course she tried to save it. She tried to even give it CPR, I think. And one of their characters, Tal's character, luckily knew how to channel the light and had to save the carp, otherwise Vivian would never let him live it down. And she asked, "What happened to this poor fish?" And they were like, "Oh, I don't know. He was like that. Was like that when we got here."
I'm beginning to see a pattern with these events we're involving carp. I can just see carp standing up in the water with little picket signs saying "Carp rights now."
Yes.
Yeah.
Someone just runs along, boots it back into the sea.
Oh
Well,
God, imagine
often
that.
with carp ball, fish ball, they do often take a moment to mention that it's not a real fish, but that it's a fish-shaped ball.
Yeah, you don't want Peter after you.
Yeah, nor Vivian.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Especially not Vivian.
Absolutely. We all remember that time when Vivian was on the broken shore fighting demons. Wow.
Well, our listeners don't know that.
Well, for those who didn't know, Vivian is usually quite how do I describe her? Quite
Sweet.
Sweet,
Gentle,
quite quite
kind.
sweet, gentle,
Gullible.
kind. Yeah, a friend to all, right? But the moment she
Yes.
sees a demon, she turns into like this Jekyll and Hyde character. She absolutely just zoomed towards this demon. My orc had to hold her back and use all of her strength to hold her back. She was that determined to cause this demon harm. It was so funny to watch.
Yeah, and the problem is not that Vivian is super strong or anything, but she's slippery, like
Yeah.
a carp.
Yeah.
So yeah, Grushka had to like grab her several times to prevent her from getting away and going all stabby on the demon.
Vivball?
Viv ball.
Speaking,
Let's
Viv
kick the
ball.
Viv and see how far she bounces.
no.
No.
Let's kick the Viv and then wait to see how far Krashka can kick you. Because my orc is very protective over Vivian.
Yeah, and that's a good thing because not many people ideally like Forsaken, so she can use all the help she can get.
Yes. What other games did you mention that you can play in game? There was Blackjack. There was what was it? Hangman,
a whole
wasn't it?
bunch, but also a few that I have not yet done myself. One of them is really nice, Dragon's Dice. Sea of Argent Airways created a die that you can trade with each other in TRP Extended.
Okay.
And every number is something. Like one of them is a question. The other is a challenge. The other is... it's difficult to explain. You're going to have to read the rules on the aforementioned document in argentarchives.org. It's all there. And I think I have it in my bag, so I can trade it with people as well, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm constantly blown away by what people can come up with using TRP Extended. It's absolutely fantastic. Highly recommend it too.
I've heard Dragon's Dice before. I've heard that name.
Yes, it's been around for quite some time. I've seen it played on several occasions in several locations. So
I've heard of Liar's Dice before. That's an interesting dice game.
Yeah.
yes,
That's quite a
I
good
do
one.
believe I have seen that played ideally as well. Yeah. I'm not sure how that works though.
No, I'm not entirely sure how it works either. But
Before we were talking about our characters, I was gonna say, if we are done on games, the next topic goes into more on our characters, which I think people might want to know about.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Now,
If you're
colours and
ready to
drinks.
move on.
There's one last game that I would like to tell you guys about. It's something that Vivian came up with because Vivian can't speak very well. So the first 1.5 years of her undead life, she had to communicate through gestures only. Her life was one great big game of charades, basically. So she has this game called Guess What or Guess Who, where you have to basically do charades of something RP-ish, so like something lore-ish. You can RP a lore character, for example, Khadgar. You can RP a lore event, like the Stabbening. You remember the time when Sargeras stabbed the planet with the giant sword, the Stabbening. And you're gonna have to like emote everything except, of course, what it's called, and people have to guess what, guess who, and those who guess right have to do the next one.
I remember playing that game in real life with the family, and it went about as well as you can imagine. Very, very funny though, which is the main part.
Sometimes those games are even funnier when you fail.
Oh yeah.
But yes, that was the last game that I wanted to mention. So
okay.
I don't know
that
if you
sounds
guys
really
have
funny
anything.
for WoW.
It is. Yeah, like Vivian once portrayed Dalaran.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, she
your
floated
focus?
around with a scroll of inner truth, and she held up her hands like towers, and then she very slowly crashed down and collapsed to the floor.
Oh dear.
Wow.
A little bit too soon, maybe, Viv.
Yeah, perhaps. But it was
Uh,
fun though.
Everyone forgives her because it's Vivian, you know.
I remember this one.
No, don't remind me of the pre-patch.
Moving
Ah,
right along then to what's this mysterious second subject then, Ella? Would you mind telling us?
so we were talking about our characters earlier and what they kind of do. This topic goes into uh, what our characters. This was asked, by the way, by Base Mencat13. Just for I'd mention.
Yeah.
They've asked, what do our characters do when we're not role playing? So what are our characters doing while we're not actually actively playing them?
Oh, I
Nice.
see.
Which
That's a good
I thought
question.
I thought it's really interesting.
Very interesting.
Yes, definitely.
So, like, what are the kind of things like Zuagu or Grashka would get up to whilst not actively being controlled? I guess.
Who wants to go first? Me, you, Viv?
Oh, you go ahead, Grashka.
Okay.
And then Zoo, because I'm curious about you two the most.
Okay.
Yes. Same.
So you can go first if you like.
Oh no, after you.
Oh no, after you, sir. After you.
No, after you. No, after you. Please, after you. No, after you.
You can tell
Right,
that.
you're both gentlemen. Go
Eve
on.
comes
ahead.
first.
Go ahead, Zuyago. You can go first.
Well, the easy answer here would be waiting around in the warband for me to log him in. But no, I think what he probably would get up to. Well, I think there would be a lot of various like hunting of things, particularly during the night, to show his like what do you call it? Like his faith or dedication
Devotion?
to his devotion to his lower, who is Shadra for anyone that's curious.
Which one is that again?
Shadra, she is the spider lower.
Oh, yes.
Ironic, which is quite ironic as somebody who has a phobia of those in real life. So he'd be
Yes.
doing that. What else would he do? Oh, good question. I think he'd also probably be making all sorts of fun poisons and testing those and like seeing what trouble he can get up to with them.
As you do.
Yeah, as you do. Probably. I thought of one thing and I forgot that thing. But one thing, he's probably also spending a lot of time with his mate and just relaxing together, most likely. Maybe
Fishball
practicing.
and chill.
Yeah, maybe practicing his crafts, his various interests and skills, and perfecting those or improving them, stuff like that.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Now, what about Grashka Redcleaver, chieftain of the Iron Wolf clan? What does she do when nobody's watching?
Yes, what does she do? Well,
We can guess.
Grashka is a bit of a perfectionist when it comes to certain matters. She trains hard, quite a lot, because, being a warrior and most of all being a leader, she has to keep up appearances and she has to be aware of what's going on. So she keeps up to date with the current events.
That's the other thing I thought of.
Yep. And but there is also a softer side of Grash that's rarely seen by people, and only her mate ever sees it. And she likes spending time with her mate, of course, her adopted daughter Valkar, who's her mate's kid, but from another couple. I hope that made sense then.
From another mother.
That's the one. And
Yeah.
what else does she get up to? Hunting occasionally when she wants to get out and be on her own for a bit, get a bit of peace and quiet.
Does she have any little innocent hobbies like knitting?
She's not a granny,
Well,
Well, actually, little unknown fact about Crash. She likes wood carving.
Ah, there you go.
There you go.
I was 100%
Whittling.
Whittling.
expecting bone carving, but close enough.
Yeah, bone carving as well.
Nah, there you go. Yeah.
Depends what she can
Ooh.
get her hands on at the time, you know.
What
Yeah.
about you, Ella?
Oh, so in character, I've made Ella be able to change outfits a lot, and I think I've explained that through tailoring. So
Mhm.
probably when I'm not playing her, she's making new outfits because I have her change outfits a lot of the time. Also traveling because I like to have her being able to move around a lot, so she probably just travels around for me, and that's how I'm able to get to different events as her. Also probably doing research because she's constantly researching more about the light as she knows a lot but not enough. So she's probably going around looking for books, reading about the light and all that, and messing with her powers. But yeah, I mainly see her probably making new outfits, tailoring.
So she's
Yeah.
essentially a follower of Kari, right?
Well, that would be your other character, the one that's new and that's just joined TKs. So it's
Daisy,
something that Ella and Daisy have in common. They both have a passion for fashion.
That's a good way
Yeah.
to put it. A passion for fashion.
Absolutely, yeah. And Kari being the
As-
queen of fashion, of course.
Yeah, and
Mhm.
Vivian's mom.
And Vivian's mom as well, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is a nice
So,
little lead into what Viv would do.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
When Vivian wakes up early in the morning, or at least pretends to wake up because she doesn't sleep, she first tries to make some sort of breakfast. Yeah, Viv is not a very good cook, but she can fry an egg. She doesn't do this for her, of course. She doesn't eat herself. She does it for Kari and for her doggy, Rupug. Then she goes to the petting zoo, because there is a lot to do at a petting zoo, let me tell you. I mean, I work in a couple of them in real life too, so there's always something to do in a petting zoo. Whatever you put into an animal on the front comes out at the back, straight away. So that's a lot of work. Then in the afternoon, she probably helps out in the TK workshop a little by providing everyone with coffee and sweeping the floor and that sort of thing, and sharpening the scissors. Then, of course, it's the evening. That's when I come online, and Viv and I share a life for a moment. She goes to events. She makes friends. Well, you know, just general RP stuff. And then at night, when it's time for me to go to bed, Vivian sits on her hay bale. She doesn't have a bed, she has a hay bale. And she just stares at nothing, and sometimes she stares at her Captain Azeroth collection, because she can't read. She likes to look at the pictures. And every now and then, when she gets bored, she just lies down, covers herself in plushies, and pretends to sleep. As Vivian says, I can't sleep, but I can dream. So she likes to just lie there and sort of daydream until the morning comes. And then she goes back to the petting zoo. Rinse, repeat.
Such a wholesome character, isn't she?
Sounds like a nice life, actually.
Sounds ideal.
Yeah, so far she doesn't get boring. So, yeah.
May she always remain that way as well, happy and wholesome.
I hope so. I noticed that once you RP a character for a long time, eventually it could happen that the story arc finishes, that your character is complete, that they have either completely destroyed themselves or completely lived their dreams. And on those moments, it's very hard to keep RPing the same character.
Believe it or not, I've kept RPing Grash for about 8 years now.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I used to have an urchin character that I've RP'd for about 10 years.
Wow.
But eventually she was no longer the age to be an urchin, even though I cheated with her age a few times. And she had a house and she had a job and she even had a partner for a while. And then I just thought one day, okay, she's complete. There is nothing more interesting that I can add to this character. and that's when I made Vivian.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
good.
I was
always-
just done with
Mm.
with. I just thought I'd check the Horde side of RP, see what that one is like, and I made a complete overhaul, and that's why my character is called Overhaul OOC Lee.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just start over, start fresh, clean slate, and see if it works, and it worked.
a
Do you
Vivian
guys
arc.
have any? Do you guys have any retired characters?
Not yet. I haven't played long enough to have one yet. I was
Well-
just thinking though, it's always good to have your character to make sure they're always learning something. Always have something they're able to learn,
Yeah, absolutely.
and try and make that goal as hard. I know it sounds bad, but it's always to make that goal as hard as possible for that character. So
Mhm.
you always have something to try aim for, even though you know out of character it's going to be difficult. That the character obviously doesn't know that, and so
Yeah.
will keep striving for it.
I think my longest ever RP character though wasn't Grash. It was my first character ever, and I'm going to show my age here by saying this. I started RPing him way back in vanilla, and
Yep,
I've been
that's a while ago.
20
That's a
years
while ago
ago.
now, yeah.
What?
great, yeah. And thankfully though, he's a druid, and so whenever I want to have a break with him, I can just say he's gone into hibernation.
Mhm.
So that's helpful.
Yeah.
I don't really
Yeah,
have retired characters. I have characters that probably don't have much left to them, or there's not much of a path of progression with them. Either because I've played them for so long, or I never had that to begin with. But no one's retired yet, I don't think.
Vivian, what about you? Apart from
Sometimes what really helps to keep your character interesting is to destroy everything they hold dear. Either yourself by, for example, Vivian's farm burned down twice. And she had help from the community to rebuild everything. Also, the lore made sure that Vivian had to start from scratch a few times. Like, she lived in Dalaran, you guys. She just lost everything. She needed everything from a new home to how to earn money, and there was a deep tragedy she had to overcome.
Although
she's doing quite well with that. But,
you say deep tragedy, but I don't think, well, probably doesn't quite compare to the fact that she died and then resurrected into a Forsaken, surely.
that was a bit of a setback in her life. Yeah, she was quite surprised when that happened. She did not expect to wake up on the other side of the Alliance Horde spectrum.
Oh God, can you imagine that?
Yeah.
One day you're at Alliance, then suddenly you wake up and you're in the Horde.
Yeah, suddenly she was surrounded by those creatures she's always been taught were the baddies.
Can you imagine just waking up and going, "Oh my God, what did I drink last night? Oh my God, where am I?"
Yes.
I was just reading the topic as well,
Oh,
and
where is my skin?
An overhaul.
I was just reading the topic as well, and then it also adds is it important as well to give characters these background lives for any character you make? Like, should it be a necessary thing or should it be optional? Like,
As in
I'm
background
already
lives, as in
thinking,
what do you mean? Like what they do with
like,
that when they're not on duty, then, or what do you
yeah,
mean?
like what they do when you're not playing them. Do you think it's important to have them give them that background knowledge, that life?
I'd say because it makes them feel more well-rounded. You know, they're not just a 2D character. Say, for instance, you wanted to be a warrior. You want them to have a reason for being that warrior, if that makes sense. You know, that give them a reason to fight for the Horde, be it for their own reasons or the fact they want to defend their home, or loved ones even, like Grash does now. So giving them a background, I'd say it is important to provide some sort of motivation for your character.
But you mean the backgrounds, Grashka, and I think Ella is talking about the behind the scenes lives, right?
Can be either or. I mean, it's both a
Either
good topic to talk about.
Yes, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
I completely agree then with everything Grashkat you said, and I think it is nice if your character has a life outside of the RP time that we get, so that you have something to talk about when you log in again. For example, my other character, Lyra, the elf, she lives in the forest and she's very secluded and she lives on her own a lot. So that every now and then when I pull her away from the moss and dust her off and send her into RP land, she can tell people about her adventures in the forest, even though I never RP'd them. Which adds a nice little bit of flavor and something to talk about.
I think what this is asking is like, is your character like when you log on, your character's awake, and when you log off, your character goes to sleep, or when you log on, your character's already been doing stuff, and when you log off, your character's going to continue doing stuff. That's basically what it's asking, and it's like, I feel like they would
what are
be
your
doing.
thoughts? What are your thoughts, Ella?
But yeah, I think the characters should be able to do stuff while you're not on them, because there are days where you don't even log on to a character. So they're going to be doing stuff in that day. They're not just going to sleep the whole time
for days on end. No,
yeah.
he probably is doing stuff when I log on, and it'd be funny if I caught him doing it. And probably continues doing stuff after I log off, depending on the day and what he's doing. Like, for instance, his plans coming up are to travel to Zuldazar with his mate to enjoy the new year with his mate, himself, and his son. I probably won't be role playing that, but that's what he'll be doing.
It's a nice thing to mention, at least.
Yeah.
It makes your character feel more well-rounded, like I said a minute ago. What about Vivian? What about Vivian?
I think. What about Vivian?
What do you reckon about Ella's question? Do you think it's important, or
that she does things outside of RP times?
Yeah.
Yes, because sometimes you wonder what to talk about when you're when you suddenly find yourself doing casual chit chat. And Vivian likes to talk about things that happened on her farm, like I had a chicken, Esmeralda, and she was sick. So I had to find a druid who mended her, but it did cost me 2 gold, and now I need money. Would you like to buy an egg?
I'm visualizing all that in Vivianese.
I mean, I just told you that in 20 seconds, and in Vivianese, it would probably take 6 minutes for her to say all of that.
Oh dear.
Especially the Esmeralda bit.
I just love
gathering the eggs and all that. You never actually role played. It's something Vivian did.
Yeah. I just love the fact she's got a chicken called Esmeralda.
Oh yeah. She has 10 chickens, and all of them have names.
Yes, it's such a Vivian thing to do that.
Ooh, I've already got the topic.
I wrote them down. It's you're not gonna be interested, but I'm gonna say anyway. Her chickens are called Catherine, Dorothy, Lizzie, Prunella, Sonja, Esmeralda, Zyretha, Brunhilde, Samantha, and Ellie.
Must be hard for her to say all those names.
Yes.
I think you know where you got the Zyretha name from. Yeah,
Zyretha is definitely our favorite archmage.
For some reason, the moment I heard Brunhilde, I imagined like a Viking chicken.
She has this tiny little helmet with little wings on it.
A helmet and a shield and a little spear under her wing. She charges at you when you don't need her.
And Dorothy has 2 little braids.
Oh. Speaking of... Sorry, Ella.
I was going to say, I'll happily tell you guys, maybe next time we can talk about mounts and pets and giving them names and backstories and the importance of that.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Next time.
I'm up for that.
Next time. Yes, absolutely. Speaking of things to do, however, shall we move along to Vivian's calendar?
Yes. Let's see here. Yeah. All right, everybody, settle down. It is time for Granny Viv's calendar. Now, you remember last week I had so much to tell you and it took forever. This time I'm gonna try to cut that time in half. We have a very strange week coming up with very few events because of the holidays. These are the events listed on argentarchives.org and the ADEURP server, and some unlisted ones too. I've put them in order for you from Tuesday the 24th all the way up to the new year. If any more bars and markets and such are open, they're not listed anywhere. I can't find them. So if you always go to your favorite bar at a certain day and a certain time every week, they might not be open because of the holidays. But never assume. Go and have a peek anyway. You might get lucky. Please remember, if you want me to mention your events, pop them on argentarchives.org or the ADEURP server, link in the description below, or try your luck on the forums, though the events that are posted there are a little harder for us to find. That said, get started. Tuesday the 24th of December, Christmas Eve everybody, for those who are still in the game and not doing obligatory family stuff. It is confirmed there will be a Dalaran market in Dawn's Blossom Jade Forest, though there might be slightly fewer vendors than you're used to.
I'll be there.
Yes, you'll be there on Daisy. TKs will be there. So definitely come on over from 8 o'clock realm time onwards and see who's there. You are probably not the only one who is sitting behind a computer at Christmas Eve. Let's just get together and make it a nice evening. Unconfirmed is the Duskwood market. I couldn't find anyone to ask, so it is possible you go to the Duskwood market every week. Go there anyway, see if they are there. I can't find it anywhere, my apologies. On Wednesday, the 25th of December, Christmas Day, the Dove will be open. I have confirmation from Ella Fraser herself. She told me that she will be in the Recluse, and with a little luck, so will the other doves be. It is 2-for-1 Wednesday in the Blue Recluse, which means 2 drinks for the price of 1. Go get smashed, have some, ideally, of course, and have a great Wintervale time. 8 p.m. realm time onwards, Alliance only, technically. The Curious Octopus in Mariner's Row, Borealis. It may be open. I have asked the owner. It may be open if anyone from Law and Order is back from Christmas activities early. So, again, it is unclear if they are all there. Just go there and find out. The Curious Octopus is a beginner RP bar, so if you're new to the server and you want to learn how to RP, this is the place to do it. If there are any people there this week, they can tell you all about add-ons and other RP tips and tricks. It's open from 8 p.m. realm time onwards, Alliance only. Thursday, the 26th of December, the Scarlet Raven Jolly Hour. Yeah, the Scarlet Raven is a tavern in Darkshire, Duskwood, and it will be open for Jolly Hour. Which means drinks, snacks, maybe a game or two, and warm, comfy social RP. They open, according to their Argent Archives page, at 10 p.m. realm time, so it's a bit later than what we're used to. On Friday the 27th, the Dove's Disguise Duel. That is a Trial of Style-like event where you dress up according to the theme. And this week the theme is Royal Court. If you win, you will get a reward. What is the reward? Well, a visit to Vivian's petting zoo, of course, so you can meet all of her 10 chickens. Actually, no. It doesn't say what the reward is. So just go and be surprised and have fun. You are welcome at Vivian's petting zoo, though. Anyway, Dove's Disguise Duel, the Blue Recluse, at 8:30 onwards, Alliance only. You may want to come a little sooner, by the way, to get prepared. Saturday the 30th. New Year's is coming early this year, and it is coming to Old Town. It's a big New Year's celebration. It's gonna be this Saturday. There will be snacks, drinks, fireworks, and general merriment. You will find this merriment outside of the Pig and Whistle in Old Town on Saturday the 30th from 7 p.m. runtime onwards. Alliance only, of course, because it's in the middle of Stormwind. Those are the calendar events I have for you guys this week. I would like to follow this up with a shout out. Shout out! We have a shout out this week coming from, well, me. Since I've been digging into these calendars for the podcast for a while now, I have noticed how outnumbered the Hordies truly are. In the 7 events that I just mentioned, there was only one neutral event. Now, I am very happy that the Alliance RP community is thriving in this server, but the Horde appears to be bleeding out a bit. If there's nothing to do for them, fewer and fewer people will be interested in making Horde characters, and let's be honest here, RP becomes so much more interesting if there's an occasional troll, orc or tauren involved. So I call upon everyone who's ever made an event or is thinking about making one in the new year, please consider making some more neutral events or Horde events. If I may speak for myself for a moment, my Forsaken Vivian is a bubbly, caring soul who visits almost every neutral event and concert she can find. She's an asset to every party, and I'd love for her not to be banned from places just because she's forgotten how to breathe. So, may 2025 bring us more diversity for the Alliance, for the Horde, for Azeroth. That was it, you guys.
I was about to say hear to that.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
hear to that. Fantastic ending there. And once again,
Yes.
mentioning Horde events, my clan is attempting to put together a hopefully a large-scale brawling tournament. The details of which are still being ironed out. But once it's all been set up, we've got the location and everything else, we will let you guys know and hope to see you there, of course.
That is something we can look forward to. And I am going to create more OOC cafes in the year to come. So you will frequently get invites for that. And we can also work on a game night, perhaps in collaboration with the Tasty Games Cafe. I'm not sure. I'll have to ask around and see what we can come up with.
I will add. I'll add to this as well. For those who are making events and you're on Alliance, because I know most event makers are probably on Alliance. Is if you are making an event, try as best as you can to try and make it neutral, because you'll get so much bigger of an outcome if you make it neutral. Because you'll have all the Alliance players still showing, as well as some Horde. There won't be many, but at least it's extra numbers, more people will be around. So try your best if you're ever making an event and you're planning on making an Alliance to switch it to neutral.
It can create interesting RP as well. For example, not many people like the Forsaken for obvious reasons, let's face it. But some of the best RP I've had was going to neutral events and somebody glaring at Vivian and calling her names, and then suddenly having this amazing RP with them in which they slowly adjust their prejudice on Vivian, at least, not necessarily all Forsaken, and they have this beautiful conversation, and they end up as friends. Those are some of the most amazing RP moments I've had, and they are only possible if you mix Alliance and Horde together now and then.
Yeah, I had something like that during the Downtime campaign. When Xiagu was out of action because of his injuries, there was one time he was just sat around in the base camp talking to, I believe they were called Garahad on Alliance. Shout out to him if you're listening. And just from just their interaction talking to each other, I don't know if it for all trolls, but at least for him, like his opinion was like changing slightly, and he was listening and relaxing more and just getting it. Like not because not everyone is the same when it comes to that. Like,
no, absolutely not. I mean, it's definitely interesting seeing people that were previously enemies talking to each other and finding out well, for most of the time, finding out that they're only doing their duty, and they were trying to defend themselves. They didn't want to outright have war with everyone else.
Yeah.
And even if they did, that's still making interesting RP.
Yeah, for instance, Yagu's not even his tribe at least isn't actually part of the Horde. He, as an individual, has joined the Horde separate from his tribe. And there's nobody he hates or doesn't like just because of their race. He's a bit wary of elves, but they have history.
I mean,
but,
yeah,
like,
who wouldn't be, right?
Yeah, well, he's a forest troll, isn't he? So, but he just is happy to talk to everybody and just get along with people. Like, well, until people give him a reason, he's gonna get along with them fine.
Absolutely. And speaking of reasons, shall we move along to RP Funny Moments?
Oh, yes.
I was going to say there's one small exception to the rule.
Oh,
If you roleplay a demon, watch out for wild Vivians.
oh yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Vivian will attack you. But not if you're an Erida, though, because Vivian has convinced herself that they are just red Draenei. And that's the only thing that's keeping her from stabbing you to death.
Moving right along.
Because my ancestors ate people.
From stabbing to death onwards to funny moments.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh,
What a segue.
What
Right, so
moments have we brought to the table?
yes, Vivian had a couple of funny moments, I believe.
I do. I have two of them. Do you guys remember when Kari was here and we talked about song titles and how we wowified them?
Yeah.
Yes.
There was a Fellfire Sisters concert not so long ago in Dunmorrow, and of course Vivian went, and of course they had an amazing time. Afterwards, Vivian took out her travel piano pin thing and started playing songs badly for the game. It's another game we haven't mentioned. Guess That Song. A game where Vivian plays the piano poorly, and you have to guess that song, but you have to wowify the title and the artist. These are a couple of titles that were mentioned. Hotel California by the Eagles suddenly got transformed into Hotel Orgrimmar by the Vultures.
Nice.
I'll Be Watching You by the Police suddenly became I'll Be Killing You by the City Guard.
I like that one.
And then there was Smooth Criminal by Michael Jackson, that of course became Jackson Michaels, but we got a whole bunch of different titles there. Smooth Criminal suddenly became Slidey Forsaken. Smooth Table for some reason. Smooth Criminal became Subliminal. Smooth Criminal became Silk Felonist.
Okay.
Last but not least, Smooth Criminal became Polish Convict.
What?
I am not sure what happened there. Yeah. Yeah, but people start yelling out things as quickly as possible because they want to be the first, so they get a point. And the weirdest things get called out. That was the first funny bit.
Yeah, and if anyone has any wowified songs they want to have us mentioned in a future podcast episode, please feel free to join us on our Discord.
Yes.
Well, please put them in the comments. I will read through them all.
And the comments as well, absolutely.
Get involved.
Yeah. I have a funny moment. Not a recent one, mind you. This one happened quite a while ago with everyone's favourite peon, Barg.
Oh, yeah.
This is when the clan was officially meeting a group of Sindori. I believe it was a warband. And Grash was talking to their leader. And Barg comes up to Grash, or stands behind her, and goes, "Ooh, she pretty," and points right to the elf commander of this warband. "She pretty," and Grash goes, "Barg, Phelan is a male."
Oh God!
Yeah. Oh my God, that was so funny.
Oh,
So yeah, he made a great first impression there on those elves, I'm sure.
Oh, he did. He also
Yeah.
proceeded to say anal adore to them.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, Bark is a diplomat, isn't he?
No, he's diplomatical. That's the way he says
Yeah.
it.
Diplomatical. Yeah, what could possibly go wrong with him in that function?
All I will say is there's a reason why Barg is not involved in diplomatic relations anymore.
Mm.
Bless him.
I
Anyone
have
else?
one more funny thing to share.
Oh, yes, please do.
At the Fellfire Sisters concert that I mentioned before, just after it ended, a group of friends, including Vivian, decided to linger around a campfire for a while. Darius, the elf, pointed out a bunny and skipped over happily, as he does.
Mm-hmm.
Blam! Hamfist, the rather impulsive gnome, looked up from his smoking pistol, and Vivian ran over to see if the bunny could be saved, but its head got blown clear off. To
Wow.
which Hamfist called out, "I can fix this! I can fix this!" Spoiler, he couldn't. So Vivian was, of course, crying. She's a huge animal friend. And the next day at the Dalaran market, in Dawn's Blossom on Tuesdays, by the way, he tried making up to Vivian by giving her Miss Laddie's guitar. But in doing so, he said something in the lines of, "I'm sorry for making you cry yesterday." And suddenly the whisper of Hamfist the whisper of Hamfist made Viv cry spread through the market like wildfire, and from every corner it was heard, "Hamfist made Vivian cry? Which color would he like his casket to be? Someone made Viv cry? Who do I kill?" He got
Yes.
chased and threatened and picked up and shook about, but luckily Hamfist is a good sport and he took it all like a champ, and Vivian has since forgiven him.
Yeah, Vivian is very well liked amongst the horde. And he learns as well, apparently. So,
Oh, I just remembered a funny moment as well.
alright, go on.
It was during the so we just had the Wintervale Ball that was
Mhm.
hosted on Saturday. Thanks to Lilito and Kari, they hosted it. During the end of the fashion bit, so everyone was like, it was a costume contest. Everyone came in costumes. There was a lot of couple costumes.
Mhm.
And I have to give a shout out to Edrosian here, the Drakfir and TK. Right at the end, it was just all finishing up. They accidentally double jumped and jumped straight off the balcony in the middle of roleplay. And luckily nobody really reacted to it, but they came back up and said Edrosian did not jump off the balcony like that.
Oh,
Nobody
yes.
jumps alone, so everybody jumped over the balcony.
Oh, there's always moments
just
like
hope-
that when you accidentally press an ability that you weren't supposed to in the middle of RP.
I have two kittens, so sometimes Vivian suddenly jumps or sits down or runs into a wall. That's usually them rolling around on the keyboard.
I remember once during an event, one of my dogs wanted a cuddle because it's one of my younger dogs. So he leapt up onto my lap and his massive paw landed on my keyboard and I jumped off a cliff. In game, that is.
Yes, my cats have also killed me more than once in the game.
Yes. Same.
Mhm.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and your dog almost killed you just before we started this recording as well.
Yeah, my eldest dog, who's 14, I hasten to add, dropped a stink bomb right near me. And
Yeah, just when we were recording.
just
Or
seconds
about to.
before,
Yes.
I was about to hit record, my dog walks up behind me, drops a bomb, and then proceeds to walk out, looking over his shoulder at me as if to say, "Ha ha," and then walks off. I thought, oh, yeah, charming. Thanks a lot. Love you too.
Yeah, pets can be very distracting when RPing.
Yes,
Well,
they
we
can
love
be.
them.
Yeah, sometimes.
We won't
no,
talk
Yeah.
about the
Oh,
fact that the-
Kari
the
also
first
have
one-
to. Kari also have to walk off all the time because of her dog. Toby needs to pee. Toby needs to pee.
oh, Toby's a dog. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I honestly thought it was
Yeah.
a partner.
No. She doesn't have. She does not have to leave our pee when her partner needs to pee. Don't
Oh
worry.
God. Oh, wow, that's embarrassing. Sorry, Kari.
That's a funny moment right there.
Yeah, there's a funny moment for you.
That's one to finish it off.
Yes. If anyone hasn't got anything else to add,
As long
No,
as you've
nothing
remembered
from
this
me.
is
Well-
episode 5, Grashka,
Hello.
I think we're good. Yeah.
Yeah, I would like, on behalf of all of us, wish everyone happy holidays and a wonderful end of the year and lots of great RP for the next year.
absolutely.
And for Icy Lee, I wish you all a happy Winterville.
Yeah,
Indeed.
absolutely.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to everyone. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel if you enjoy our content. Feel free to leave a like and a comment as well, especially if you have any wildfire songs you want to share with the community. And also join us on Discord, because you might be lucky and be a guest presenter if you want to get involved in that way as well.
Yeah.
Until then, we shall see you guys in the new year. Goodbye, everyone.
I have to. See you next year.
See you next year.
See you next
Goodbye,
year.
everyone. See you next year.
Bye.
We love you.
Bye.
Bye.